Okay, we're going to start it off with the first big play of the game. This was the option where we pitched it out to the back, and he hits it here with a great cut and a big run. I'm going to back up now and talk about what we're trying to accomplish and why this option play is set up so well. So from an O-line standpoint, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to leave this player on the edge as the person that we are optioning. So everybody is going to work to the man in front or up to the second level. So basically, because of the position of this D tackle here, our offensive tackle should be able to get up to that second level. So an easy way to look at it is, I'm going to draw a box. We're going to block everybody inside of that box down from this player that is the option player. Then up here, we are going to be able to block man on, man on, man on, and say this is going to be the player that will have to get downhill to make the tackle. So as you see the option play out, everybody in the O-line is going to work. We're going to get this tackle up there, and then everybody's going to work back. And ideally, if we can get all the way back there, great. If not, that guy still has a long ways to run. So everybody's working. You can see this little combo block right here to potentially get back up to that weak side backer. But everybody's going, and when the option player takes the quarterback, the ball is then pitched out. And then what you're hoping for is all of these blocks. Look at all those blocks. This is the offensive tackle, tight end, receiver, receiver. All of those blocks get picked up. And that's exactly what happens right here. Helps us that this guy tries to cut inside, gets us that block really, really well. We are doing a good job up here on the front side man blocks. We get upfield, and now here's the big one right here, right? Somebody from the D-line or one of the backers that we couldn't get to is going to get off of his block. It's going to be too hard to sustain it for that long. Can we beat that man with speed? Now, here's the safety, right? This is the guy that's going to be unblocked. We put a cut on him. We make the unblocked player miss. In the NFL, it said this is what we pay the running backs for, right? We pay the running backs that when there isn't really much there, can he find us something? And then when we block everybody up, can he make the unblocked player miss? And that's what happens right here. We one cut, make that player miss. Because of speed, we're upfield, and now we're off to the races. This was an awesome, all right, 3rd and goal. Here's the touchdown pass. This is a little dash out here to the right. And we get a little pivot route or a return route on the outside for an easy score. Let's talk about how this is set up and why it works. They're in man coverage here. You can use this motion. Motion's going to tell you whether it's man or zone. Now what they do is, it would have been nice to be able to see a player run across. That's not what they do. They pass it off. He says, hey, I'm staying here. I'm going to pass it off to you to man him up. The other reason that they're doing that is because you're going to see they're going to have manned up. He's going to be having the tight end man. There's going to be another player that's man here, but then you're going to have backers that are free floating underneath. They're going to be free floating zone players underneath the man coverage. Now, watch Keaton as he kicks back, and he's going to settle. He's going to take one step and settle. That is giving the illusion of quick game. Now, if it's man coverage, doesn't really matter because this defender's eyes aren't on the quarterback anyway. But for some of these guys that have vision on the quarterback, especially these underneath zone players, this can impact it. The other thing it does, it helps set the edge. When Keaton settles there, this edge player will rush inward. That's going to help us then set up blocks to get our quarterback out on the edge. So one step settles. Now we got the block set up to get on the edge. Keaton's going to get out on the edge. And now some people call this a whip route, a return route, a Colorado route. All this is on the outside is I'm going to set up what looks like a slant, get their defender to run hard. I'm going to put my foot in the ground and come right back out of it. From the backside, you're going to see this flow. It's going to be a crossing route as number 2 and a back end line as number 3. For some of you guys that can remember going back to the 49ers Cowboys game with the catch in the back of the end zone that Joe Montana laid up, it was a little bit of a similar play. It's a sprint right option play where they have this little out-breaking route, and then you have these crossers that flow along the back line, and that's what he floated up in the back of the end zone. So here Keaton settles, he sprints out, we get exactly what we want. There's that defender running hard on the slant. He puts his foot in the ground, comes right back out of it. Good ball, easy touchdown for the first score. Okay, this is a little screen that's getting thrown back the other way. I know it's not a big gain, but I love the design. I think it's something really good to talk through of why it's set up the way that it is and why they're coming back with the screen on the backside. So BYU is going to start out in empty, okay? They're going to put their running back on the outside. A lot of the times what that can tell you is whether it's man or zone. They use this as a man-zone indicator. If this player out here is a corner, like here they're giving us a shell and that remains the corner, it's a zone coverage, right? If all of a sudden they have a linebacker that has walked out here, man for man, now that's going to tell me like this guy right here, if he walked out and he's lined up over the running back, and then when our running back motions back in, if that linebacker works back in, it's man coverage. We can get these indicators. So they motion him back. Now we know it's zone. This player is going to walk back in. But what we're doing is they're setting up what looks like the swing with blockers out here on the front side. BYU uses this play at times and in years past have set it up with a QB draw where the running back's going to be in motion. You can throw this little quick now bubble screen out here to the running back with 3 blockers in front of it. But what they're going to do here is they're going to set all of that up. They're going to tell you this is where the ball is going out here. But on the backside, they're going to set up a screen where they get these 2 linemen out in front of him on a screen. This is why you see Keaton, as he catches the football, he moves this way. You would say, why is the quarterback moving in the direction of this little swing? Well, this is one of the little things. All of this is showing, oh, here comes the screen. He's going to buy a little space because all these linemen, they're just going to hit their guy, throw him, and then they're going to try to get out here to set up the screen. So they hit their guys, they throw them, and now you can see these linemen start to work their way out here for the screen. And what this receiver's trying to do is he's trying to catch the football and hopefully feel his blockers out in front of him and then use those blockers to get upfield. So again, like I said, not a huge gain. Our receiver here does a great job of making some people miss. Right there, we finally get one of those blocks on the line to help us out. It works good right there. We pick up a couple extra. But I love the design. I love the design because it shows something that teams have seen out here from BYU a lot. Look at these guys start to move in this direction. Look at him start to move in that direction. It's set up. So let's tell everybody the play is going here. Let's set it up with the play they're familiar with. Let's show it. And then let's quickly get the ball back out here and let's try to get some linemen out in front of him. I love play designs like this. I think hit at the right time, these can go for big yards. Really good call here on 1st and 10 by Aaron. I just think I like it, and that's why I wanted to talk through it. All right, this was a close one. This is the 3rd and 7. We take a shot downfield to Chase. Love the way that it was set up. It was the opportunity was there. We just barely missed, but I want to talk through it, okay, of why this works this way. So all this concept is, this is a vertical concept with a shallow cross coming from the other side of the field. So when you get these 3 deep teams, I'm going to draw a different picture. 4 verticals, okay? I'm drawing them as if it's balanced 2 by 2. 4 verticals work well because if you have deep thirds, you are going to attack the inside seams off of a single safety, or you can take a shot over the top, but a lot of the times this go ball is to occupy this thirds guy. This go ball is to occupy this thirds defender. So you can play a 2-on-1 on the inside safety. If a corner is squatting and you can throw a go ball over the top, great. But a lot of the times, it's these 2 inside seams off of a single high safety. Okay, so what matters now? Now, let's say if that safety cheats to a side and I'm going to go throw this seam ball, now what matters is the depth of the linebackers. Does a linebacker carry this seam with depth so that I can't throw it? If he carries the seam, I need to replace that with something underneath. So a lot of the times in a vertical concept, you're going to place a check down underneath so that if backer depth is what takes away the seams, you can now come right to your check down. So using those rules in this concept, this is where you use, there are our verticals. See how in this we are occupying the 2 inside seams and the outer seam? Now we're using the tight end as the shallow route. That is for the backer depth. If they sink with depth or carry the seams, we now come down to the tight end on the shallow. Now, Texas Tech is going to give a 3 deep look. You can see this safety work to the middle of the field. But if you notice, they're pressed here, and now this nickel player is very soft and almost stays outside of Chase. So he does a really good job. You're going to lose vision because he runs out of the screen. but he does a really good job of pushing at where this guy is set up on the outside, saving space as he works back in on his seam. Out of the picture, you're going to see this single high safety get depth, and then he's actually going to start to work this direction because he feels that through seam. So Keaton does a really good job of seeing this and throwing a ball that hits this seam. It's a little unique because normally if you got a rotation and this guy would come down in zone, now you're going to throw the ball past this defender over the top here. But here, there's these elements of like, he's almost locked up. This guy over here is playing like he's off man and to the outside. And that's why I say Chase does a good job of attacking his leverage, saving space for this seam kind of on the hash. So it's a really good job by Keaton of filling this out. He feels the verticals. He sees the safety right there. He sees the safety move, and you'll be able to see it when the ball is released. Right here, this is that safety that started to work to this side of the field, came off the middle of the field. Now he's retracting back, trying to get to Chase. But you can see the space here because he's outside of him. This is because he pushed his leverage and then went inside. So, man, the execution on this play was so good, we just barely missed it, right? This is you can't say it's a poor thrown ball. It's just, man, both guys did a great job, just barely missed. This was almost a big chunk play early in the game here in the first quarter. All right, this is really cool how this play played out. All right, you see it's a little choice route down here to the bottom. Looks like it's a really easy throw, pick up, and gain, which it is. But let's talk about how it played out, why it was able to work so well. So Texas Tech is trying to give what looks like they are trying to send a message that we are going to play man coverage, and here's our free safety. If you watch the Texas Tech video where I broke down their defense, I said that the safety and man coverage gets a lot of depth. So they're showing you that depth. I also talked about how the outside guy is a little bit closer up, the inside guy is a little bit further off. They're giving you all of the things that show we're going to play man coverage, okay? Now watch as the motion starts. Actually, before the motion starts, this defender starts to walk out, all right? This defender walking out with the safety still topped over him is telling the quarterback something is different. They are going to get to something else. They showed us one thing. They're going to get to something else. Okay, so as it continues to go, that backer walks out. We send the motion. Notice how this safety is starting to get some depth. That's something else. Why is he backing up outside the hash? Something's happening. As the motion continues, now you can see he starts to come down. This corner turns and bails. They're going to turn and bail. They're going to give us a shell look, okay? So this shell look is going to leave 3 under. This is going to be 1, 2, and 3. Now, depending on what side of the field we're calling our strength, maybe this is Isaac, they're identifying down here to the boundary as the strength. We can say this is Sam, this is Mike, this is the nickel Will, okay? Once we start to motion, watch the influence on the Mike. Watch him push to the speed side, the 3 receiver side. What I mean by that is this is 1, this is 2, with the motion, this is 3. So you have 2 elements. You have speed side and you have field. So this Mike pushes. When he pushes, we've now isolated this Sam defender, or maybe we can call, depending on the personnel, they might be in dime. I don't know if they're in dime. It could be. I don't know the numbers. I don't know the personnel as well to be able to identify that. But nonetheless, we have a great setup on a choice route. He can go in. He can break out here on this defender. And with this motion, what this did was this expanded the mic even more, giving us more space inside to win. So here you have this quarter shell look, sync with depth. There's a safety, sync with depth. That's the 4 deep I'm talking about. The 3 under, you just expanded both of these guys and you left space to win. And so that's what happens. He breaks in to win. We put it right on him. Ton of space to get upfield. Get an easy first down on 1st and 10. Really nice play design utilizing the motion. We can go back all the way and say, what if they would have stayed in man coverage here? Okay? What if they would have stayed in man coverage? 2 things. 1, they add a backer on a pressure, and when he goes in motion and he runs out, there's still a one-on-one with all that space to win inside. What if they don't blitz? What if he runs with the running back and he's a free floating guy in the middle and they stay in cover one. Yes, now this becomes a little bit trickier. We lose the ability to break inside. We can still try to win, but with that player sitting inside, we got to try to win on the outbreaker. Still not a bad play, can still work. Works better if they blitz that backer and he runs with the running back. But the coverage that they rolled to still gave us a great opportunity to win in, and that's what we did. All right, this is going to be a fun one to take a look at because of the catch. This is that amazing one-handed catch that happened here in the second quarter. Unbelievable grab. Let's talk about, I'm going to focus on the concept that's here at the bottom, okay? Up top, you have a quarters beater, also a 3-deep beater. Down here, you have this inverted concept, which is like a smash concept, which means as you watch it play out, it creates a high-low. Now, you can't see the corner out, but you can see Isaac on the low. And when I say inverted smash, if I were to say a hitch and a corner, that's what a lot of people know as a smash route or a China route. But the concept is basically creating a low and a high with a corner. So what they're doing is it's inverted. The outside receiver is going to be the one that is going to run the high corner. The inside receiver is the one that is going to run the low route. But in this case, because he's a slot, he's going to run a quick out. So Keaton takes the boundary here, and because of the leverage of the defender inside, this receiver is going to have to take a higher angle. So you throw a man corner a little bit higher. Now look, the coverage, pretty good job of this coverage. The goal is to drop it in the bucket over his shoulder, which that's the ball that Keaton's trying to throw right here. This type of body control and going up for that grab, obviously don't need me to tell you how great of a catch this is. Pretty remarkable, but I just wanted to go over why the ball was thrown to him. In man coverage, I will talk about up top. You have a post ball up here up top. You're not going to want to throw a post up top because of a single high safety that's sitting in the middle of the field. Now you could take this sail route or corner route versus man coverage. It's matchups. It's, do I feel more confident throwing this sail concept versus that leverage? Or do I feel more confident throwing this corner ball? Do I feel more confident throwing this corner ball versus man coverage? Now, I'm going to go back to what they did a few plays ago as well. If you remember, they showed this single high man look, which from here you can see man, 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 with the safety sitting in the middle of the field. And they rotated to a two high look. So one of the keys may have been going into the game, if you see a single high look, you could get, depending on where the backers move, where the safety rotates, you could get a rotation into a two high shell. This could be another reason why Keaton worked down here to the boundary, anticipating that right there, as this safety starts to move, you might have gotten a rotation to a two high shell. Either way, I think right here, Keaton recognized it's man coverage. He sees that this guy is running with him. He sees him break on the quick out, and he understands I have a one-on-one. I took my eyes to this side of the field right now. I can't now take them back to try to throw this sail to their side of the field. So which one is going to give me my best option? I'm going to take the high corner. He takes the high corner, and we have a great result because of a great catch. All right, a little trick play. We've seen this one over the years. The little reverse, toss it back to the quarterback, finds Isaac Rex down the field for a big gain. Love this play. It's been really successful over the years for BYU. Let's talk through it. All right, so what you're going to get here down in the boundary, you're going to get what looks like he's going to take 2 steps up the field. He's going to be on the reverse. All right, this is going to be our run through, our clear post. You're going to see Isaac is going to slow play as if he's coming out on a block for this running back on this outside zone. Once he has it set up and he feels the defenders start to trigger down, he's now going to slip by him down the field. So this post, it should take 2 with him. You want to attract the guy that's the zone corner. If it's man, great. Have the man guy run out. But at the zone corner and also the free safety sitting in the middle of the field, can we take 2 with us? Can we blow the top out? You'll see it right here. Now, the post, he collisions, actually falls on the ground, has to get back up and try to run through. You can see Isaac right here in this little slow play. He is just waiting to feel these guys trigger. When he feels them trigger, now he's going to take off. Now, a key part of this is once the running back pitches this football to the reverse guy, watch him occupy this flat space right here. What that's going to be for is because they're still creating a high-low. As Isaac gets down the field on this will, it's still, if these defenders sniff it out and back up, the ball will come right back to the back. But having this back here in this space gives them a reason to play in between. They lose vision on where Isaac's at, but they feel from the quarterback's eyes that his vision is downfield, but they're not sure of what it is. So having something in what is called flat control, an area of the field here in front of their eyes, it's going to cause them to not just turn and completely bail too fast. If they do, see us right here, you see this player right there? It's because he sees the back out of the backfield. And because of that, it controls him just enough. All right? Now, down the field, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. When Keaton throws this football, you can see the influence of flat control on him. You can see that he got back up off the ground and went to the post. This player that's here, this is the third player that started on the post and then felt to run off of it. All right? That's why there's space here. This player is the initial player all the way back to here that starts to sniff it out. See him start to run? He starts to run, but we got him beat. So we got him beat because he triggered late on Isaac. Really good ball. It's a little hard to tell, it happens so fast, but now that you're seeing it in fast motion, that guy almost gets a hand on it. This ball is caught in a really small space. This is not just a wide open man. We completely gashed him. There's nobody covering him. These guys, the corner is retracing, and this linebacker was sniffing it out. Not bad, but we're able to fit it in for a big play to get down there in the red zone. All right, here we go. It's the touchdown play from the second quarter. This play is very similar to the one that they threw against TCU for the 2-point play. Basically what we're getting here is we're going to get this motion here of the back. So they start out an empty, as you can see with this bunch look here to the top side. We're going to get a motion here from the back. He's going to go and run a swing. Now what we're getting is we are getting a shallow, a dig, a hook, and then that swing. Okay, so what they do is they send 4 to a side. I can remember early on in the NFL being introduced to this play. And what it basically is known as is drive, hook, swing. Now, what you do is you have to basically draw a line, and then you have to be able to feel numbers running outside that or staying inside that. Okay, and these are the things that, like, there's no playbook that teaches this. This is what you hear from the vets because this play happens fast. And so what you have to have a feel for is there will be defenders that will either there will be defenders that will either add to the 4 or they will stay inside on the drive. And so what that means is I'm going to let the play kind of play out. And you will see once the defense accounts for what is 1, 2, 3, 4, they recognize this. Now it's what do they do from here? As the play plays out, you will see these players stay on this side of the count. So what that means is as you can see them, they pass off. There's the shallow. They pass off the shallow. And they're going to have width. See how he passed off the shallow? And he's there on the dig. So you are going to overplay the swing and the hook. There's the swing. There's the hook. Which means when they overplay the numbers to the swing and the hook. Can you see this? If I mark these guys in red, 1, 2, 3, 4. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 for BYU's 1, 2. So that means the swing hook portion of it is off. You're going to have to come back inside, and now you are going to play the shallow and the in cut right here. So that's why you see Keaton's eyes. Keaton's eyes start outside. What he's looking for is he is looking for the spacing between the hook and the swing in terms of bodies. When they push bodies and you know you can't throw hook or swing, he's going to come back inside. So there you see him reset. He resets right there. Look at this picture right here. I'm going to draw. See these defenders? All those defenders have moved there. Once this shallow comes across and this shallow grabs that backer, now there's going to be this window to throw this ball right here for that in cut. And that's what you get. Boom. Right there in the back of the end zone. That's the in cut. Now, the one thing that could have been tricky, right here you can see they are locked up in man. They actually added the other safety over here. So you have basically these guys plus they only rushed 3. So they were in a drop 8. So you have 7 defenders over here for BYU's 4. So that means naturally they're going to have more numbers than us. And so these windows, they're going to be tight. But it worked out great. Look how many people get attracted by that shallow route. That's why we're able to slip this in cut back behind him for the touchdown. Really well executed play. All right, on this play here, I want to break it down because it's a third down. It's a critical play on a drive. I know it may seem a little insignificant in the overall outcome of the game, but there's some things going on in this coverage as to why the ball has to go to Isaac here and why he's being hit right after he catches the ball. And I want to talk about these things. Now, some of these things happen as they leave the screen. But first, let's talk about the concept up top. You're going to get a wide and go route, and then you're going to get this switch release sail concept. Isaac's going to chip on the edge here, and he's going to go to the flat. This is a 3-level throw. These are the 3 levels that we're attacking because we know that defenses have 2 levels to the defense in coverage. So on the front side, you're getting this 3-level throw. Now on the back side, in coverage, you're getting locked up man, and this safety that comes down right here, he's going to be on the back. Okay, sometimes you see this in these weak rotation, buzz type coverages where they bring a safety down, and then there'll be a will linebacker here that will man the back. This is a little different. I'm going to fit this in the category of combo coverage, meaning you're going to get one coverage to one side of the field and you're going to get another coverage to the other. Now, they bring the will backer here. He comes on the pressure. Because of that, that's who the back picks up. So this safety that's coming down, he's no longer going to have that back because he's picked up in protection. So he's got 2 things to do. He can either add on to the rush or he can add to the coverage. Be a free zone defender, add to the 3 receiver side, depending on what their coaching staff has taught him to do. Now on the top side up here, this is what impacts the play. They have a zone dropper. What that means is when we blitz from one side of the field, we zone drop to another. That's this player. It ends up being a simulated pressure. You've heard me say this. All this is a 4-man rush. Looks like it's a 5-man rush, but they drop somebody out. Now in the coverage, they cheat the safety to this side. Knowing that over here they're in man coverage, they're going to cheat the safety to the zone side of the field. Now what you have is you have a corner that's sinking, but because he's having help over the top, he knows he can be a little bit aggressive. So he's going to keep his eyes inside at the quarterback. And what that does is these sail type concepts, he can fall off of the go and make a play on the sail because he knows he's got safety help over the top. So that's one of the elements that happens right here. As you see the switch release, there's the wide and go, there's the sail route. Look where his eyes are. He is not worried about just playing deep third over the top of this go route. He's got eyes inside specific for stuff like this. He's looking for any outbreaker that he can jump. The other thing that they're doing is the flat defender is sinking with a lot of depth. He is also going to fall off of that route. So when we break on our sail route, they're going to have a couple defenders over here that what I say muddy things up. It's too messy and muddy of a look. You don't want to take that chance. So now it just comes down to, I'm going to back it up a little bit. This zone dropper that was dropping, he was dropping into the hook area. So because the hook guy is dropping and the flat defender is sinking, the ball has to go to the flat right now to Isaac. And so that's why you see a ball thrown to the flat. It would be easy to say, why are we throwing the ball to a flat route to a guy that is going to get hit as soon as he catches the ball? You can't totally see it in this picture. You can only see the sail route. What you can't see is this corner who had eyes on and also the depth of this player when the decision was made. Watch this if I back it up. Keaton's already throwing the football right now. This defender is behind the sticks. There is no way that Keaton could have thrown the ball to the sail with that defender there. It's too muddy of a look, so that's why it appears as he's getting hit. And you can see this too. This is the player that's falling off. This is the corner that's falling off of the go route. In no way could we have thrown this beyond the sticks. You got to take what the defense gives you, and he gets hit right as he catches the ball. All right, we're going to break down this really good run right here. I really like this guard tackle counter scheme that they use to a tight end side. Really, really well executed play. The fact that they get this puller out there in space actually as an extra blocker is awesome. So let's talk about the uniqueness of this, okay? So guard tackle counter, you're going to get these down blocks right here. You're going to get backside guard, you're going to get center, you're going to get play side tackle, you're going to get tight end. Now this is unique. A lot of the times you see it'll be a kick out from a tight end, guard's going to pull. Or it will be a guard is going to pull and kick out, and then you get this wing tight end that's going to insert. Or you can get same side guard tackle. Guard kicks out, tackle inserts. Here you're going to get, and I really like this a lot, you're going to get play side guard, backside tackle. What that means is this. This is the play side guard. This is the backside tackle that's going to insert up. So we're going to get a really good kick here. Now the cool part about it is the tight end, as he gets down, he goes to the play side backer. Sometimes I'm used to seeing as these guard tackle counters come through, you're working to this backer knowing that the puller is going to get front side here. Here they work to the play side backer, which is great because now the puller is going to pull for either flow there, rotation, as somebody that beats this defender or our blocker inside. We block it so well, and this guy flows so slow, and he gets actually caught with his eyes in the backfield. You see that hesitation that he puts right there? That is most likely the guy that should be flowing there, that our tackle then is going to wrap and pick up on the pull. So again, just one more time so you can see it. There's our play side guard. There's our backside tackle. The tackle here is going to work down, and the tight end is going to work to the play side backer. What that does is we get the kick out, awesome. We seal the edge, great. Now we get a great block here on the play side backer. Watch 54 is going to come and pull and turn. He's looking up inside, but this guy's eyes are in the backfield. Nobody's there. So now our running back puts his hands on the back, and look at this blocking. This right here is great to see. This is hats off because this does not just happen by chance. This takes work. You have to spend time on your downfield blocking as receivers if you want to be good at this. Seeing a play like this tells me this is something that Fessy is emphasizing. This is a really, really good job to see this type of space downfield and to have a lineman right there, you're pulling tackle out in front of you. Super, super well executed play. That's the reason why this was such a big gain. And I want you to notice something right here. Watch the head man. This celebration right here, he understands what's happening. He understands the execution that it takes. He's been on the other side as a D coordinator, knowing how to stop that, how you got to stop those guard tackle counters. So to be able to get that big run right there, really well executed play by the offense. All right, here we go. Another third down here in the third quarter. This ball's not completed, but I like putting this play on here because I want to show how BYU is utilizing a play out of empty that they anticipate maybe the defense is going to play, but they can have a little wrinkle off of it that gives them an advantage. So you're going to get this concept down here to the bottom that's going to be this spot route with a fade. Okay, a lot of the times what you'll see BYU do is they're going to run this hitch, inside fade, stick, inside fade, hitch. All right, and the whole idea is if you get a single high safety here and you get man across the board, you can take one of these inside fades. If you get some type of free access on the outside single high, you can bang one of these hitches, and if the flat defender widens, you take a stick. So it's a play that teams see BYU use. All right, well, now they're going to give us a quarters look. So you get now a different concept. You get a fade and a little spot route, right, where he's going to settle right here. It's probably fade out, but what happens is as he starts to run his route, you see this defender start to buzz to the flat. So I'm not going to run my out route right into a zone defender. I'm going to hook it up in zone. So he's hooking it up right there in zone. You can see these two defenders outside of him. And remember, over the top, there are four guys, okay? So it's three-man rush. These are your three rushers. And they're playing a 40, 4 under. Here's your other two defenders underneath. So you can play off of this backer here. Remember, the concept is fade out to this side of the field. And then watch up top, you're going to get what looks like inside fade, but now you're going to get a bend here across his face. So what's happening is, as this hook defender, this is the flat defender, as this hook defender widens to push towards this fade outside, now it's 4/2. Because he widens, he's going to leave a space here. This is right where you see this receiver bending into that window in front of the quarter safety. So Keaton right here, as he catches the ball, where his eyes are looking is he's seeing this player push. If this player settles, now guess what's open? Our receiver hooking it up right there. Because he pushes really hard with speed, you can see this window, an area that we can throw it into. So I like the design. I like the read. I like the timing. There's so many good things happening here. If that ball is caught, excellent execution. We're just a little off. Yes, it's a little bit high, a little bit inside, right? Could he still get a catch from that, get his hands on the ball? I believe yes. But I just like it because what it shows that BYU's utilizing, they know the wrinkles out of stuff that they're seeing, and they're beating a 4 deep, 4 under. That at times can be tough to do. When they drop 8 versus your 5, it can be tough to throw in rhythm, on schedule. This right here, this is in rhythm and on schedule. So I like it. It shows a place where we can continue to grow as an offense, and they're right there at the cusp of hitting plays like this. All right, here we go. BYU motion to 3x1, and they're going to use this man beater to take a shot downfield. They almost get it again. This play reminds me of some of the throws and catches I remember seeing from Zach Wilson to Dax Milne. These balls where there is very limited space, but he fits it in there. So I want to talk about the concept, all right? Man beater. You can see the man coverage here. You got off coverage, but still in man. Press coverage from number 2. You can see they're all up right here, okay? So they're going to be all up. They're bringing everybody. So there is a safety in the middle of the field that you cannot see, all right? So it's a cover 1, man look, and this off corner and this off player here, what you got to do is you got to eat that space up as fast as you can. You can see that Keaton throws this ball in rhythm, okay? So that's a lot of trust right there that he's having in this receiver. The concept is this. It's going to be an inside slot fade, or what some people call a box fade. And then you're going to get these under routes from the outside. Over here, you're going to get slant. I can't remember if it's either flat or bubble. It's one of the two. We're working to the flat. So here you have slant flat to the boundary. And then you have an inside fade with double unders. All right. I'm going to talk about if the defense was a little different, if it was press here and off there, you can still take the press fade, but this could be an easy winner. If all 3 of these guys are sitting at 8 to 10 yards off, he's going to run right through the middle of these 2 guys, and this can be an easy win. In this case right here, it's going to have a hard time there, but that's going to bring him down. You know that these guys are locked up. That's going to bring them down. So it's a great one-on-one with tons of space up here. It's a trust throw. So he takes that man beater inside fade. This is the play that reminds me. That right there. I feel like I saw plays with Dax and Neal and different guys where dropping this ball in and that catch is made. And yes, it's a great catch. And I'm not saying that this player should have made this catch. This isn't a should have. Like, to me, this is where great plays can be made. There's like a saying the Colley family has that I've heard both his brother Zach and Austin say, and it's about making routine catches and great catches, and how they try to train themselves so that they make the routine, the great catches are routine to them, and then like the remarkable catches they still make sometimes. It's something to that effect. If Austin watches this video, he's going to laugh and chuckle and say, John, you butchered that. The old Colley family saying. But this is an opportunity for a great catch. It's a ball where it's given a chance. This is, again, that space where when BYU is hitting on all cylinders, like, I think this is the place where they can still, like, finding a way. If the score of this game was, let's say, 21-24, we're only up by 3. Or it's 24-27, we're down by 3. This is the space that, as players, this is where you say, I got to find a way. And I know that maybe there's some pushing. Maybe he's gotten one of his arms. But I think that this is the place where if they want to have a chance to beat the Texases, the Oklahomas, and those teams, those are the ones that can be made. There is a chance, and you want to see those guys come down with it, and it'd be great to see that happen. All right, I had to put this one on here. This is going to be the final play of the video. I know that there's still the entire fourth quarter remaining, but in all honesty, BYU kind of called the dogs off a little bit there in the fourth quarter, played it safe, so there's not a lot of plays where I felt like it would be very important to have them up, but I want to finish with this one. Some people may wonder, like, why does John get so excited about some of these run plays and the blocking? I love it. The same way that I get excited about pass concepts, the execution of plays in the pass game, I feel the same way about run game. I love all the different looks that run game can give. I love the way that linemen have to play and the work it takes to be able to execute things at a high level in the run game. I just got a lot of respect for it. I do believe you put points on the board through the air. I just think if you want to have an offense that scores a lot, that has a ton of offensive yardage, you got to be able to throw the football around the field. But I do believe if you want to win, man, you can seal the deal in games. You can absolutely take it to a team and wear them out and grind down their hope of having a chance in a game with the run game. And so I love it. I love when I see it executed like this. You're going to see just this inside zone play with a sifter. As he comes on the backside, he does a great job of getting downhill. To me, there's an element here where with how high he's kind of attacking at an angle here, he's putting himself in a tough position. I don't know if this was supposed to look at this element right here like he was coming towards like a jet sweep or fly sweep. He's a little deep. You want to be a little bit tighter to the line to get this sift block, but I love the effort. The effort here is great for him to get all the way across and get his hat across inside. Great gate, great effort right there. I watched the front side blocks here as they get this combo block. This is the one that I want kind of all eyes to watch. Watch this combo block right here. They recognize that they have him, and watch this, our left guard. Watch our left guard get from that combo block. Now watch him work right here to this backer up on the inside. That block right there. How he works from here to here. This is awesome. Great job. Look at him drive these guys, taking them where they want to go, taking them out of the play. The thing that can get improved as this wide receiver tries to beat him to the inside space, he does lose him a little bit. And this is where the running back getting through here with speed, he beats that tackle. But just again on the line play, you can see these double teams here trying to work up to these backers. That's the big key. And you watch these guys work. They do a great job of getting to those blocks. And that is what gives us a chance. And yes, our running back, he beats that tackle right there with speed, and he gets up the field. But to me, there's a picture right there. That picture right there. I just want to note this. Here, getting up to that backer after he turned back. Here, and then there. That right there. Can you see this space? And then what that does is there's that lane. If he could have gotten there, I would have said this was dang near perfect. But it is very difficult to get every block perfect. And this is why running backs at the upper levels, they get paid to beat tackles. And that's what that is right there. He beats that tackle and he gets a few more yards. Really, really good run play, really good execution. Like I said, I get just as excited about a great passing scheme or pass play. I get just as excited on run blocking and run execution as I do great pass scheme with great execution there. So great game by the BYU Cougars. Awesome to see them get this W here, beat Texas Tech. I'm super excited for this next game against Texas. I hope you've enjoyed this breakdown of this game and hope these Cougars can keep things rolling.